Hello coaches, welcome back to another Modern Soccer Coach Breakdown. This week we are going to take a look at ways to improve build-out play at youth level. As always, we have the sessions for free, the information, the dimensions for free on the link below on the Modern Soccer Coach website. Please give it a like, please subscribe if you enjoy. Thank you very much. Here we go, build-up play. Alright, we always start these breakdowns with objectives, and build-up play at youth level is a fairly popular topic that we get sent, and sometimes I think it's important that we approach it in the right way. You often hear people say, well, technically we need to get better and technically, but the technical requirements of the game change at youth level. Usually at that ages of 5, 6, 7, it's ball mastery, it's enjoyment of the game, it's fun. It's also highly individual. And then when build out becomes an important component, you're also putting in decision making, timing, relationships, and an element of pressure as well, where young kids can be playing the game in competitive structures for the first time. So there's a lot of variables in that. So I think in these exercises, what it's important to do, it's important to not just start with a back four or a midfield two, get consistencies around what we're trying to coach, and then look at how we're structuring that with the session. So 3 ideas around this here. Hope you enjoy. Here we go. The first one is a 5v5 plus 1 beat the press game. So you've got 2 teams, 2v2 in each half, and you've got a neutral in the middle, in a little zone in the middle. Players are limited to one side of the pitch. They can't pass directly to a teammate on the other side. The ball starts with the goalkeeper with the ball in possession, team looking to connect with the neutral to beat the press. So find the neutral, and then after connecting with the neutral can then connect with the forwards and create that 3v2 towards goal. If the defending team win possession in the press, they can immediately counter to the goal. So what you're trying to do here is you're trying to create the experience of seeing what the press looks like and also giving them a solution, and then experiencing when you break pressure, there may be an opportunity of creating an attack right away. So a good fun game which the players should experience a fair amount of success. Our next game is a 4-zone game, 5v5 again. You've got one player must occupy each zone. The goalkeepers are in traditional positions. Players are initially limited to their zones, and the objective is to build from the goalkeeper and then progress to the next zone with a dribble or a pass. And here's the interesting part here. If the player plays a pass into the teammate in the next zone, it's still a 1v1, they can't go in, but if they dribble and progress the ball into another zone, they can create that overload. It can become a 2v1 in that zone. So what you're trying to do here is you're trying to allow players to experience pass and progression, but also dribble. Why is dribbling worth more than the pass? Because the ball's under control. And again, building from that ball mastery stage, you still want to encourage moments of games where the players can take risks, can build, can progress the ball. Dribbling's not just about the final third. There's dribbling situations all over the park, and you want to try and help communicate that. It's a fun game, and it should move quite freely. Before we take a look at our third game, coaches, if you enjoy the work on Modern Soccer Coach YouTube page, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more. And if you enjoy this type of work where we're breaking down how to teach tactical concepts in smaller-sided games, we have a brilliant resource for you. 30 small-sided possession games. It's a PowerPoint presentation, so you've got all the videos similar to this here. You can see the breakdowns, very easy to follow. And it also allows you with smaller groups to build in those tactical principles. 30 exercises total, fast flowing exercises, and again consistent to a possession-based system. Information is below on the Modern Soccer Coach website. Please check it out. Okay, exercise number 3. So this is a 5v5 screening game. 2 teams of 5 players. This time you organize them into the end zones, and then you put 2 attackers alongside each other, but you've got 2 screeners before you get to your attackers. So this time, instead of traditional pressing, you're looking to help defenders create passing lanes. You've got screening players that are going to try and intercept passes. They have to stay in their zones. But if the spacing is good and the timing is good, and again, when those passing windows open up, the defenders can play the ball into their attacking players. And again, similar to the first game, If a player wants to go and support and create the overload, great. If not, if they want to keep playing and solve it themselves, even better. You can be flexible with the rules, but this is a good situation where it's not complete all-out pressure. It allows defenders to experience when those passing windows open and close, and if they move the ball quickly, they might have a better chance of playing the ball in. So it's a good exercise for that. If the screeners win the ball, they can transition. It becomes a 2v2. So you've got that side of the game as well, and they can still work on defending. Fun game. So there you go, coaches. Just some ideas around build-up play at youth level. As you can tell from the type of exercises, I'm a big fan of work session design around the certain principles you're trying to bring out. So for me, we talk a lot about overloads in the 11v11 in the senior game. How do you teach that? Well, you can sit down and you can do a 30-minute presentation with 10-year-old kids. Probably won't be really impactful, but allowing them to see that first exercise where you can actually have pressure, and that is a specific overload where the neutral's quite static and the goalkeeper is quite static. So it's easier to understand that you can manipulate those two defenders to find that area for the pressure to be broken. Then the dribbling aspect, I think, is really important, where you're still encouraging the dribble, and then communicating to players that risk-taking is really positive in the build. If that's your philosophy as a coach, sometimes our philosophy is challenged as we structure our training sessions. So I think looking at ways to structure a session and seeing what you're trying to bring out can actually maybe show what your principles are communicated to the players. Maybe it's a fun environment to see it with not too much pressure. So these are all things that I think can help young players see tactical concepts where it's not too complex and it's not just ball mastery or solve a press, however you do it on a Saturday, which I think is quite unfair. So trying to almost reverse engineer your game model so that your principles or your 11v11 are there, but how you teach them are going to be really flexible, especially at the young ages. So I hope you enjoy that. If you did, please give it a like. Please make sure you subscribe. And if you want the dimensions and you want more ideas on session design, please check out the Modern Soccer Coach website with the link below. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.